Hey gang, Bill Sheridan with the Maryland Association of CPAs. This is the purpose of the CPA. This is our weekly hunt for the why behind what CPAs do. We spend too much time talking about what CPAs do, not enough time talking about why they do it. So we're looking to do our part to change the narrative behind the profession just a little bit. And this week I'm talking to an old friend, Jody Padar. You might know her as the Radical CPA, a native of Chicago, or the Chicago area, I should say, now living in Wisconsin. Strangely, in spite of all that, she is an MA CPA member. She just likes to be connected with folks who think outside the box, do things a little bit differently. So she's been a member with us here in Maryland for a while now. And that's really where she lives, outside the box, right? Jody's done a little bit of everything in the profession. She's written books, hosted her own podcast, has helped more than one startup get rolling in the accounting space. Her latest move is as co-founder of Excel Labs. That's a real-time insights and coaching system for CPA firms. She's always kind of on that bleeding edge, right? Because she understands how fast the world is changing and how fast the profession has to move to keep up with it all. And she's just trying to do her part to help the rest of the profession see what she sees and kind of move at that speed too. And what really caught my ear in this conversation, Jody says, given how fast the world is changing these days, no one really knows what they're going to be doing 5 years from now, right? But accounting is the foundation of everything, and it lets us kind of move seamlessly throughout our career. So I thought that was a really good point. I'm going to let her explain more. Here's Jody Padar with her CPA story.
My dad was an accountant, and I'll say I didn't know any better, right? And I took a class in high school, and I liked it. I liked like how it just worked, like the logic behind it. Mm-hmm. And then I went to college and I wanted to be a psychology major. And my dad said, no, you're not going to be a psychology major. You need to have like a real job, right? Like you have to go to school.
I won't tell my daughter that story. She just graduated with a psychology degree.
My son's in psychology as well. But anyways, so basically he said, why don't you try accounting again? And so because I liked it in high school, I started like doing accounting. And the funny thing is really in accounting, you do a lot of psychology because you're spending so much time with clients that you really are a psychologist for them. You're just talking about behavioral finance as opposed to, other problems. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of funny. They really do align.
No doubt. Everyone I talk to goes the same route, right? They started out, it's like, oh, I was good at math, so yeah, let's do accounting. And then they quickly found out, oh, this has nothing to do with math. This is all about people, This
right.
is, yeah, which is really interesting. Well, I mean, what do you accomplish by doing what you do, Jody? I mean, what's the why behind your work, right? I mean, we know a little bit about what you do, but why do you do it?
So I think most accountants say they like to help people, and I think I'm in that same boat, except like as my career has progressed, I've really like changed the narrative as to how do I help other accountants help their clients better, right? So instead of me directly impacting clients these days, I'm helping other accountants learn how to serve their clients better.
How is that going, by the way? I know you've been branding yourself as like the Radical CPA for a while. Are you getting more people to join your dirty little guild here? Is that
I am, and I think this is really interesting for students or whoever's coming up, is I'm actually a paid influencer these days. So back in the day when I started doing it, it started on social and talking about things that were different. There was no such thing as an influencer. And now media vendor sponsors pay me to actually talk about software just the way people talk about makeup on TikTok, which is kind of funny, right? Like, so that's a place where like you'd never think your career would go, that a CPA could be an influencer, but I broke the mold.
Here we are. I mean, that is definitely a career path that I haven't talked about with anybody else, but it's everyone keeps saying you can do almost anything you want to do with a background in accounting and finance, and here's more proof, right? What do you love most about being a CPA?
So again, I think it goes back to people. And I think there's a little bit of pride in the fact that, I'm not dissing accountants, but like that the structure that it took to get my CPA to pass that exam, to be part of the profession is special. And the ethics and all of those things around it that kind of up level you really really gives me pride, or really makes me excited about being a CPA versus just like an accountant or a bookkeeper or something else. And I don't think it's talked about enough.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, if you were sitting down with a young person who's trying to figure out where they belong or where they fit or what they're going to do with their lives, I mean, what would you tell them about this profession? Why should they consider accounting?
So I would say, like the world is changing so fast that you really don't know what you're going to be when you grow up, anyways. So when
That's a very good point.
I went to college in accounting, that I would be an influencer, right? Like there wasn't such a job, right? And
Hmm.
yet my degree in accounting, my enjoyment of the logic of accounting, right, which kind of got me to tax, and kind of the profession that I kind of worked in, helping clients and all that stuff, evolved me to doing something that I love. And so I would say do it not because you think that it's the right thing to do, but just do it because you don't know where you're going to end up. And I think people think, oh, like accounting is, I'm going to be like pushing a pencil, or like doing computers all day, or I'm going to be doing this. And we don't know what we don't know yet. And the way technology is changing everything, it's only going to make us be more strategic, more relationship driven, all the human stuff, which is
Yeah,
not really accounting anyways.
right.
So it's funny because, like, yes, you need to know this body of knowledge, but the reality is after your first couple of jobs, that's not what you do anyways. Like, you're really doing things with clients and partners and other things that really, like, you have to know it, but it's not like that's what you do every day. So,
Well, and it's interesting that and this is like unlike any other profession that I am familiar with, but that foundational body of knowledge that you're talking about almost lets you do anything that you want to do. To your
right.
point, that we really don't know what we're going to be doing for a living, but having that as the foundation on which you're building your career will allow you to go in so many different areas. I think that's kind of a really unique part of this profession that a lot of other professions don't have,
Well, I think too, it's the language of business, right? So when you start in accounting, you have the financial background. So whether you stay as a controller or a CFO, or if you end up doing marketing, which essentially is what I do, like it all comes back to, you still need to understand numbers. You still need to understand the relationships. You need to, and I would say, and as the world evolves, it's becoming more data driven anyways. So that foundation gives you the insight to understand what the data means and to make those connections.
Great stuff there from Jody Padar. So glad she could take time out of her very busy schedule to be with us today. We want to hear from you as well. So if you could, head on over to macpa.org/Y and share your story with us as we try to offer just a little bit of inspiration to the next generation of accounting and finance professionals. We want to hear what your CPA purpose is as well. And in the meantime, just thanks for being here. Have a great week, should be a short week, right? Got the holiday coming up later this week, so stay safe. But we'll be back again next week. More stories to share then. Until then, thanks for being here. Have a great week. Talk to you soon. Take care.